Hey there folks, this is GreenyXI welcoming you right back to Let's Play Higurashi. This is episode 13. What we're going to do in today's episode is check out chapter 7 when I'm pretty sure we're going to be introduced to a new character either in this episode or the next episode depending on when the chapter breaks up in the middle in the game. In last episode we found out about a load of murders, annual murders at the Cotton Drifting Festival, or not literally at the Cotton Drifting Festival but during that day kind of thing. So this year, surely another one's not going to happen, is it? And no one's going to be going missing at the same time. Let's go. I'm looking forward to this actually, seeing how it all goes darker. Good morning! Nice job yesterday, Kai-chan. You didn't do so badly yourself, Mion. Yeah, they both did pretty well. Yesterday was fun. Oh, that's right, Keiichi-kun, thank you very much for Mr. Bay. I'm glad you like it. Don't use it like a pincushion though. I wouldn't. She would. But for who? Still chatting happily, we entered the classroom, but the moment I stepped into the room, a splashing sound and a nasty sensation. Oh god, what's Sadako done now? It was a bucket filled to the brim with water. Oh, of course it was. And unfortunately, my foot stepped right into it. What a cow. I know, how diligent of you to mop the floor this morning. Plop, plop, plop. Bah, Keiichi-san flicked my forehead. So he should. You should set a more brutal trap next time. Seeing that, Rena began to swoon as Mion looked on dejectedly. Everything was the same as always. Everybody was there and nothing felt out of place, so nobody died then. It's the day after now, obviously. The uncertainties I'd had in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished. What is it, Keiichi-kun? Didn't get enough sleep, maybe? Maybe? I slept like a log, but if you want, I'll do a reenactment during class. Oh, that's good of you. You shouldn't do that. Mion alerted us that the teacher was coming, so everyone shuffled off to their seats. Good morning everyone. So yesterday was the festival. Thank you to all the people who stayed until the very end to help clean up. We were all slackers, so none of us actually helped. Actually, I had a feeling that the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause ruckus. Yeah, pretty much. Although you did do a good show for the shooting gallery, people. Okay then, this time of year, you might see some people here from out of town doing interviews about the festival for magazines. I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to tune it out, but then I noticed a different tone in her voice and started paying attention. I haven't started the timer. Anyway. You may be asked questions. Please don't say anything silly or something that could be taken the wrong way. Do you understand? In unison, everyone replied, yes ma'am. What she'd said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the 5th year. There were probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in, hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying, don't spout stupid shit you think is funny. And now, I was one of the ones who needed to keep their mouths shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself. It's at the end of the day already. I was summoned to club activities after school. Oh god, here we go. Since everybody was still tired from yesterday, we just spent the day relaxing in peace. Yeah, that wasn't happening. Not relaxing peacefully at all. Today, let's play a classic game of Deduction. How about this one? Oh, a game from overseas. Looks interesting. I don't know what it's talking about. The instructions are in English, but the rules don't seem that hard. I won't lose you here. They all say that. I'm not too bad at this game. It seemed that Rena didn't handle this kind of game very well. The rules are, the person who can match the murderer, weapon, and the scene of the crime wins. Oh, it's Cluedo. Not Cluedo. Yeah, Cluedo. 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 There are 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons, and locations. I could see that the names Mion and Rika were written on the suspect cards. Oh, a card with my name on it as well. There are plenty of different weapons too. Oh, okay, so is it... In Cluedo you have like set people like Professor Plum and all that sort of crap. But in this, it looks like it's actually the players who could be the murderers. There are plenty of different weapons too, like knives, axes, and poison. The locations are pretty nice too, like the living room, the study, and the courtyard. So basically, you take out one of each of the cards. These are the answer cards. So we shuffle the remaining cards and hand them out. We ask each other about the cards and figure out the right ones. So we just found out about all these murders and now we're playing a game about murder. It's not very sensitive. Ah, I see. So the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators. Then you raise your hand if you know the answer. The game ends and we check if the answer is correct. If you're right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, then you lose a point. Since the game ends, even if no one gets it right, all the cards are gathered up and redistributed. Ah. You learn as you go. You really have to use your brain. Maybe it's nothing like Cluedo, I don't know, it's what I'm imagining right now. You'll get confused if you don't take notes. The rest you can figure out by playing. So, Mion. What's the penalty this time? Everyone directed their attention to Mion. Let's see. We're all still a little tired from yesterday, so maybe we'll take it easier with a gopher penalty. You'll be asked to rush out and buy stuff for everyone. Okay, that sounds nice. So just being asked to go buy stuff like drinks and candy, I guess. I feel like the penalty today is pretty simple. Wow, Rika's not very happy. I wonder, is it really? Yeah, you never know what they're gonna have to go out and buy. Maybe a rocket or something. Is Keiichi-san thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, you don't know what you'll have to go buy. I bet Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like hemorrhoid cream or happy family planning manual or other crazy stuff. Condoms. It'd have to be. The cards were lightly shuffled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon, and the scene of the murder have been taken out, so that means all the cards I have in my hand are innocent cards. Then, I'll go first since I'm the club president, I guess. Well then, Mion, knife, study. You pick one suspect, weapon, and murder scene and ask each person. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. Bless me. Where was I? Where were we? If you have any of those cards, then you must say, I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have, so everyone has to guess based on that. I used to get those sort of puzzle books, where it was like a mixture of loads of different crosswords and word searches and all that sort of crap. And there's this sort of logic-y game, where it's like on a grid, and you'd have to cross out everything based on a couple of clues. It looks like it's that sort of thing. Yeah, I got it. Only with cards. Me too. I have one. Oh my, all of them are here. Okay. 3 people answered when she asked if they had Mion, knife and study. So that means that Mion and knife and study are all in the clear. Gotta jot that down. Then I'll go. Renna, axe, lounge. Only 2 people said they had one, so it means out of Renna, axe and lounge, one of them is correct and is part of the crime. You know, this wasn't in the anime at all, this part. And to put Renna and axe together, twice in this one arc. Once when she was running around with the axe out by the dump, and once now doing this game. I wonder. No wait, even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. It's possible that either Satoko or Rika-chan has 2 of the cards. Well, Kai-chan's next, go ahead. Wait just a little, I'm still sorting things out. The game has me thinking more than I thought. Oh man, this feels like it's gonna be tough. Oh, Keiichi's gonna lose again, isn't he? Alright, now I have the criminal. What? Already? Here I am spinning around in circles, and Mion just now raises her hand. This sounds like me. I can figure this sort of thing out quicker than anyone else, I bet. The murderer is Rika-chan, in the infirmary with the poison. Oh wow, that seems like her sort of thing. Because she's quite weak, by the look of her. Mion drew the cards from the box and we checked to see if her deduction was right. You were right, so Mion won. Excuse me. All I needed was one more hand. I couldn't tell whether it was poison or pistol. I'd never use a pistol. I like killing them slowly with poison. Oh my god, she used to seem so innocent. Rika-chan says such a hugely terrifying thing with such a sweet little face. Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Renna and I were left out in the cold though. Neither of those got it. Not even close. How do you do, Keiichi-kun? I couldn't get it at all. Don't worry. I had no idea either. To be honest, I didn't either. I was trying to follow along a little bit. How can you both be so unsure? We'll both end up in last place together at this rate. That's even worse. Going off buying something together as a couple? Oh, that could be bad. What if we ended up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Guide? Oh. I can tell from Kaiichi's expression that he's not very good at this game. What? That's not true. I'll show you the true power of Sherlock Mayabara during the next round. My, that sounds just wonderful. I shall give you quite the thrashing. After that, I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game, but I was still always a step or two behind. I saw that Mion was somehow gleaning information from how the others were asking their questions. That level of experience was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback was if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept of deduction and switched over to the thought process that needed to win. The important thing isn't to find out the criminal, it's to win at the game. So he's gonna cheat, is he? Eureka! Ah, sorry, need to go to the bathroom. Oh, this is how he's gonna cheat, he's gonna leave and do something. Take your time and squeeze out a nice one. Oh, disgusting. Michan, that's gross. I agree, actually. I had them hauled off the game and headed down the hall. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom was from our body heat. On the school grounds, some of our classmates were still playing around. After spending some time cooling my head, Rena had made her way over towards me. Keiichi-kun, did you call for me? Yeah, I did. As I got up from my seat, I winked over at Rena. I'm glad it worked out. She actually noticed. I don't want to waste much time, so I'll get right to the point. Rena, what's your record at this game we're playing today? She was taken aback. After a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth. Well, all losses. Why'd you ask, I wonder? I wonder. I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing. The way things are going, I will as well. I can't figure out a way to pull off a last-minute comeback on this one. So, I guess both of us will be taking that penalty? Don't accept defeat already. How about we win this? Both of us. How can we? I brought my lips up to Rena's ear. Ooh, what's he doing? What are they gonna do? Is that allowed? Did you forget, Rena? The second rule of our society. Do everything in your power to obtain victory. Yeah, I'll try my best. I'm wondering actually what they're gonna do. Our plan of attack was a quite rudimentary one. At the beginning of the game, everyone would be focused on their own hand for a while, taking notes and whatnot. Since our seats were right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. If we did it under the desk, nobody would know. Crafty gits. We'd begin the game with twice as much information as everyone else. Having this much information would mean we'd need to investigate less. With this sort of plan of attack, we start off with a big lead over the other guys. That's true. With this, we can probably win. We both smirked at each other. If I was the shady businessman, then Rena was the corrupt senator. Hehe, pleasure doing business with you. Then let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo to surprise everyone. Hey now, there's no point if we go back together. It would be like flat out telling them we made a little arrangement. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Then what should we do? Go back ahead of me, Rena. I'll take my time coming back after washing my face or something. Okay, got it. Makes sense to me. Rena turned around and headed back to the classroom. I guess I should wait a bit longer before going back. If I went too soon, it wouldn't seem like I went to the bathroom. If Mion or one of them suspected something, then it could be problems. They'd figure it out sooner or later, because both Rena and I would start winning over and over again. Both Rena and I will have earned enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mion realised what was happening. I bet they're doing something in there as well, in the room. Excellent. Not bad at all. Mayabara-kun, may I have a moment? Huh? It's the teacher. Ah, things were just getting good. Was it? I'm a bit... You have a guest. Please make your way to the entrance. Yes, we're getting a new character! A guest? It's not like I own a hotel, and this is a good character. He's so multi-dimensional. You never know quite what side he's on, and you'll see what I mean as we go along if there's anything like the anime. They've been waiting. Please hurry. It was rather unfortunate that I'd have someone waiting on me right before my big match, but I was more interested in the unexpected guest. I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. The entryway was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows. Hello, sir. This is him. He looks a bit smoother in this. In the anime, he's got wrinkles and everything, and he seems more like an older man, kind of. A little bit older, anyway. Waiting here, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his ties sloppily loosened and his jacket tucked underneath his arm. Are you Mayabara-san? Keiichi Mayabara-san? There was no question that he wasn't a resident of Hinamazawa, and that this was without a doubt the first time he had met me. Ever since I met Tomitaki-san, I'd been running into so many middle-aged men. How creepy. That's right. Who might you be? I have the AC on in my car. Let's talk there. It's a bit hot here, don't you think? Yeah, you can kidnap me. The man, completely ignoring my question, pointed over to his car parked near the gate and began walking. You've got to be kidding me. I had no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know. And he was asking me to get in his car with him. He's a proper pedo, we all know it. I'm not going to bite. Come on now. No, he's going to do the opposite of biting. Jesus. He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was about. Even while knowing that conversations that start out like this have never led to anything good. Oh, you can actually see inside the car and everything. I didn't expect that. The inside of his car was pretty cool. Cars with air conditioners were supposed to be a luxury. Back in those days, I suppose, because it was like, what was it, 1980 something? My dad didn't have one in his car at least. Please let me know if it's too cold for you, okay? I have a habit of cranking it all the way up. So what business do you have with me? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark in the same way he did to me and start my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took out a picture that was stuck between the pages. On it was the face of a pretty goofy looking guy. If you know anything related to this individual, then please tell me. Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize who he was from this expressionless picture that looked like it was taken at the DMV. There were scribbles on his shirt done in permanent marker. Oh, hint. Starting with yours, Mayabara-san, and quite a few of your classmates signed as well. Huh? This is Tomitaki-san? There was no hint of his usual unreliable and easygoing personality in this photo. It was an expressionless, half-asleep face. Do you know this woman? Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was. I don't remember her name, but she's some lady who was with Tomitaki-san last night. I don't think we were ever told, was we? Not at that point, anyway. I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamazawa. Oh, I didn't show the picture. When was the last time you saw these two? The night of the Watanagashi we spoke. They seem pretty close, I guess. Did anything bother you about them? Anything is fine. Go ahead and say it. Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was by now. Did something happen to them? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus, I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no, certain, that this guy was a cop. Then why? Well, I was asking about Tomitaki-san. Here it comes. Did something happen to him? More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew more about him than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again. You've moved here just recently, isn't that right, Mayabara-san? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories of Oyashiro-sama? Yeah, he told us last night. My heart began to race. I'm really terrible at hiding things. It probably showed on my face. Not at all? If you don't, then that's fine. Well, I have heard of it. Tomitaki-san told me, actually. How much do you know about it? The dismemberment killing, the accidental death, the death by illness, followed by suicide, and the lady who was beaten to death, so 5 years in a row. We didn't find anything out about the fourth one, did we? The suicide? I think that was right, in the tips. And the fifth one didn't have that much either. The incidents had always happened the day of the Watanagashi, ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Tomitaki-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No, rather I didn't want to think there was anything more than that. Do you know of that, well, curse, Mayabara-san? Feel free to speak openly about it. I don't believe in it. My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe in it, as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away my own doubts. That was the more prominent feeling. Really? Then that's great. Guess you really are one of those city-raised boys. People in the country do seem to believe in all this superstitious crap more, don't they? For some reason. So what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting, so could you get to the point? The man in this picture is dead. Tomitaki is dead. So, somebody did die on the Cotton Drifting Festival this year as well, even if he wasn't a citizen of Hinamazawa. But that happened in one of the other deaths as well, didn't it? They didn't live there, they were visiting. My mind went blank. Huh? What happened to Tomitaki-san? It would seem that he died last night. That was the night of the Watanagashi. Do you understand the implications behind that, Mayabara-san? Implications? Not any yet. Not any for the cause of this death or the reasons behind it. The real problem was that he died on the day of the Watanagashi. Meaning, this year, the curse of Oyashiro-sama had once again. The death of Jiro Tomitaki is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right? Yeah, some murder, possibly. I didn't want to understand why. Please tell me. Tell me what happened. It was rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Hinamizawa. It was a roundabout way of saying it, but it caused me to doubt whether or not I wanted to hear the rest. I would only regret forcing myself to learn of something I shouldn't. Or at least, that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest. Oh, what's coming? One of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back from security detail at the festival. It's nice how they went to night time to show that it's going into the past, into the night before. It's nice how they've done it, I think. About 5 till midnight of the, yeah. The location was, you know where the road into town becomes paved, right? Down past the slope, on a shoulder around there? No, I don't know. There were a few street lights on that road. Its pitch black darkness was only broken by the lights of passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomitaki-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. Tomitaki-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt. This is different to how he dies in the anime. In the anime, he's actually burnt alive in a barrel, or something similar to that. No, don't load data. Thank you. We thought it was a hit and run at first, but when the officer checked to see if he was still alive, he quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped open. Oh, from a knife or something? No, nails. Nails? As in fingernails? This will become significant, not just in this arc so much, but with those he clawed through. From the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was his own nails. What? What does that mean? It means that he killed himself, yeah. It was murder. He scratched his own throat out. That's pretty disgusting. Tomitaki-san thought there was a reason to tear open his own throat, as hard as he could with his own nails. Tore through the skin until he started to bleed. And even then, Tomitaki-san didn't stop. He continued clawing. Oh, and it's going to go through all the guts and the blood. Oh, that's disgusting. With enough intensity that it could have peeled off his nails, still clawing. Still clawing. Then, as his nails reached those vital arteries that you should never damage, he continued clawing. Blood splattered on the ground around him. Ooh, nice artwork. As he bled, while gasping for breath, he collapsed. His body spasmed and he died in agony. We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. But this, it was a suicide? I've never heard of such a thing. See, he was so happy and everything. Could it really be a suicide? Or could something else be involved? There's a natural way of dying. If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died, in these 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and Tomitaki-san, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong. There were a few more suspicious details. From his body chemistry, perspiration, epilation, and so on, we concluded that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death. Oh, he was panicking so much. That was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing out their throat. It's true. Wounds on his hands matched a discarded piece of lumber found nearby. There were traces of waves struck trees and the guardrails within. Tomitaki-san's blood was found all over the place. Meaning that while tearing at his own throat, he was swinging around a piece of lumber. That's weird. There were external injuries, which were not self-inflicted, discovered on Tomitaki-san. There's a high probability Tomitaki-san was assaulted, so he was trying to fight someone at the same time, for some reason, as committed suicide. The external injuries suggest there may be multiple suspects. To summarise, Tomitaki-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic, after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried fighting back. Somewhere in there, he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it. Then, he died. Why? The presumed time of death was around 9:23 PM, and they found him at like 5 to 12, wasn't it? Meaning, it occurred right after you finished talking to Tomitaki-san at the festival. Everyone signed Tomitaki-san's shirt, then parted ways. Right after that? Oh yeah, he should have been with a woman. He should have been with her. She's missing. She hasn't shown up to work and she hasn't returned home either. So once again, somebody has died and somebody has gone missing. and they're the two characters that we didn't know that much about so far in the series, but we'll get to know more. There's a very high probability that she was involved in this incident. For a while, I could only gaze off into space. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. The time I had spent with Tomitaki-san was short, but we went to the same festival, spent time together, and took part in the same competition. He was one of us. We've been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oyashiro-sama's curse, the villagers here aren't very cooperative. They don't want to talk about it, they believe in it, some of them, the older ones. That I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tomitaki-san, the outsider, telling me. So that's why you came to me? Because I'm not originally from Hinamizawa? I should have been angry that that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened for me. If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro Tomitaki died from Oyashiro-sama's curse. He turned away from me and gazed far off into the distance. The night of the Watanagashi, during that sacred ritual, he carelessly snapped off photos angering Oyashiro-sama. That's how it's going to turn out. Why would taking photos anger him? I don't know. There's no way Oyashiro-sama would inflict divine punishment on Tomitaki-san. Tomitaki-san had to have been killed by humans and a cowardly group, no less. There's no way I'm going to let this end up being the fault of some curse. I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curses. The tense mood was cut with a man's hearty laugh. That's how this must be, Mayabara-san. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamizawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable. Understood? Neither Tomitaki-san nor I believed in curses, but with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tomitaki-san's death marking the 5th year. Which would mean that Hinamizawa had rejected Tomitaki-san. That was something I couldn't allow. Tomitaki-san was one of us. He did live in Hinamizawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. There was no way that Tomitaki-san could have been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. Okay, you don't have to repeat it so much. But there's nothing I can do to help. I have no idea what happened that night either. No, if you see or hear something that draws your attention, then that is enough. If I see or hear, he was talking in the future tense. Things or people or rumours. Anything is fine. I don't care if they are unfounded. Here, this is my number. If I'm not here, then just leave a message with whoever picks up. So Kaiichi is now gonna be like undercover cop, kind of. He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted to or not, I'd be mired knee-deep in this matter. Please, help me solve these questions surrounding Tomitaki-san's unfortunate death. That's right. While I was hesitating, I needed to find the murderer who killed my friend. I snatched up the piece of paper as a satisfied grin spread across his face. Everything we spoke of today is a secret. Please keep this confidential. Understood. From your friends as well, especially from Sonozaki-san and Furude-san, please do not inform them. Sonozaki? You mean Mion? Why? You say they have something to do with the incident? With my friends' names brought up so abruptly, I am being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry. This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose. Don't play games with me. Mion is a close friend of mine. I snapped at him, but he didn't seem to especially be offended. I don't mind telling you, but he may just upset you. Say it. Hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit. There's a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Hinamizawa are a result of a village conspiracy. There's no way that could be right. Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that? No evidence. Also, each of the cases were resolved and none of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village. Then how did you come to that conclusion? Every year, the enemies of the village die on the day of the Watanagashi. Don't you think that's enough reason to suspect something? Yeah, I'd say so. Only the residents of Hinamizawa felt that the day of the Watanagashi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was somehow related to Hinamizawa. First it was the damn construction foreman, then it was a villager that supported it. Those of the village hold a grudge against die one after the other for mysterious causes. The means are different, but in the end the result is the same. Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion. But it couldn't just be shrugged off. So, the victims after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village. No, they were good people, weren't they? The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute, but he wasn't proactive, so there was a faction of the villagers who harboured ill will towards him as a result. Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about that housewife after that? Did she die just because she was the wife of the brother of a supporter? That's such a trivial reason to kill someone. And what about Tomotaki-san? He's not affiliated with the dam project at all. Was he killed just because he was an outsider? In the beginning, it fell on those related to the dam project, but as the years went on, the enemy threshold of the victims had become much lower. That's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower, so anyone could be killed really. What's scary about that? It means it's not just enemies of the village anymore, just being an outsider is reason enough. The next year's victim is just going to be picked out of the village outsider pool? It might be a person that just moved here. Oh, Kaiichi, what do you mean by... I swallowed my words. Here, in Hinamazawa, the ones who would be considered the most outside would be my family. I was proof enough of that, wasn't I? I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then, the next victims, my family. Was he saying it was going to be me? But what's that have to do with Mion? I can't go into details, but the Sonsaki family led the dam protests. Quite fervently so. This is also true of Mion Sonsaki-san herself. She has quite a few misdemeanor and obstruction of public worker offences on her record because of the protests. I knew Mion knew what it meant to fight. This was the first I'd heard of her family leading the protests though. Then, well, what did it all mean? Are you saying that Mion's family is involved with a string of incidents? I won't go that far. I'm just saying that if it was a conspiracy, then it'd have the highest probability of being behind it. Not a very clear explanation. Felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know. We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That's exactly why I don't want you to say anything to the villagers. Instead of answering, I give a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough. Then think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe it's the curse. How about that? What do you mean, how about that? How should I know? But the reasoning behind wanting me to not carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with a curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes, and none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just worry needlessly. Just like everyone kept it from me so I wouldn't worry about it, is it now my turn to keep it from them so I didn't have to worry? I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over these mysterious incidents yearly, and the incident this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was, but it couldn't be helped. I understand, I'll keep it to myself. Is that fine? Mr. Oishi from the Okinamaya police station. Oishi. Okay, a name to remember. You can call me Kuro-chan if you want. Ah no, Oishi-san is fine. The way he said it was unpleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was a spitting image of a vulgar police officer. Though I've never seen one this bulky before in the cop shows I watch. I've taken up too much time. Your friends are waiting, aren't they? I should probably let you get back to them. Okay, so now that we've become an undercover cop, sort of. The door opened with a click and in streamed the oppressive heat. It was blistering outside of the car. Was it really this hot of a day? It was an almost cruel heat, as opposed to the mechanical coolness inside the car. It was as if the land of Hinamazawa itself suddenly hated me. I felt a little sad as that thought crossed my mind. I didn't mean to suspect your friends. Please don't misunderstand that. I refrained from telling him that it was too late to say something that self-serving. It's fine if you don't see or hear anything, Mayabara-san. There's enough proof that the village is not involved. I'll contact you if I hear or see anything, but I'm no detective. Please don't expect too much from me. That's a good thing to say, very adult. I won't. You don't have to become a detective. Just go on living as you have up until now. Just let me know if you notice anything. I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving him a quick bow. See you later. Farewell, Mayabara-kun. I returned to the school building without looking back. Let's get back to cards. I don't know how much time had passed. I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there was a lot on my mind. Tomotaki-san's death was hard enough as it was, but to think that there was the possibility of a village conspiracy. Worse still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved. Nonsense. Impossible. Not Mion, Rena, Satoko, or Vika-chan. It was a group that attacked Tomotaki-san. Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be they were hiding here, somewhere in Hinamizawa? I didn't know. All I could say for certain was that I knew that Mion couldn't be the perpetrator. Yeah. It's Mi-chan! The perpetrator! Oh god, that was a coincidence. I was startled to hear Rena's voice. With the rope in the lounge. Was it? Nope. Rena's got it wrong again. Rena clutched her head while flailing about. Looks like you're just self-destructing over here. Wow. Ah, Keiji-san, you're quite late. As you may well know, I'm seething with anger. Sorry about that. I was called into the staff room, you see. You were reprimanded for bad behaviour? That's a shame. Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one. If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm going to be finishing in last place? Don't worry, Kichi-kun. Oh, she's not still. Oh, -1! Oh, because she just got it wrong, didn't she? The heck? The score is lower than mine and I wasn't even playing. That's pretty impressive. It's the final match to decide if the penalty is going to be carried out by Rena alone, by both Kai-chan and Rena. Yeah, right. Just let Rena do the penalty by herself. We made a promise, Kichi-kun, that we would both win. I waited all this time, you know? Don't say that out loud. I'm sorry about that. Poor Rena. I followed my initial plan of showing Rena my cards, but I didn't say who was the criminal, I just waited for her to call. I got it! The murderer is me! With a poison at the entrance. Is it? Is it? My Rena, quite a quick answer. Another stab in the dark? Oh. Has she figured it out? Rena's correct. Oh ho ho ho. It's decided that Kiichi-san shall take part in the penalty as well. Ah, they both became losers. Hooray! Kiichi-kun, let's both do our best. Yeah, let's do our best. It's my fault, so I have no choice. The next game. It's me, Mion Sonzaki, ranked first, as usual. I bet she cheated again. In dead last are Keiichi Maibara and Rena Ryuku. Everyone applauded and the game ended. The problem now was the penalty. Now then, I ranked first, so I'll decide what you'll be buying for the go for penalty. What's called a go for penalty? Go for? Oh, you go for something. Go buy something. Well, what will she make us buy, I wonder? Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it? Huh? I don't have any business at the drugstore. This old man's already got a list prepared for you on this piece of paper. There's a lot written here. A lot? Damn it, what's she making us buy? 2 blocks of tofu, shampoo and conditioner. That's not much. Apple vinegar and fried tofu. Okay, a bit more. Heck is this? It's a proper list. Bloody hell. It looks more like a shopping list than a penalty. Ah, we're doing a shopping for her, aren't we? Mia was certain she was going to win today. Rule 7 of our society. There seem to be more rules all the time. You cannot refuse any penalty. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is Fruit Fable. Thanks! This is just your grocery list. I promised myself that if I won next time, I'd make her go buy hemorrhoid cream. That'd be so funny. And there we go, chapter end. These episodes are getting a bit longer again, aren't they? Actual videos, I mean. But that's only because the chapters are sort of getting longer by the seams of it. Ah, we've reached the end of the chapter. There wasn't a midway point. You know what? We'll just finish off this chapter now. Not a clue. Okay, so we might as well check them out. There are more than 4 perpetrators? I didn't expect there to be the whole chapter in one episode. I'm surprised. Hypovolemic shock induced by clawing out their own throat. Tissue is packed under the nails. Not someone else's nails. It's undoubtedly by the individual's own nails, so it says Tamataki. Is suicide. The shape of the scars also matches. Yeah, I know the immediate cause of death was suicide. I get it. You're saying the cause of death isn't natural, right? It's kind of like when your back itches and you scratch a little too hard and draw blood. Really? I've never done that. It's quite weird. Some of Tamataki's fingernails have been pulled out. It's actually quite simple to pull out one's own nails, is it? But it really hurts. I bet it bloody does. Under normal circumstances, the pain would prevent you from completely pulling them out. Also, there were a lot of bruises on Tomataki's body. It's clear from the shape of them that he was assaulted first by someone or a group of people. According to the toxicology report, the deceased was in an extreme state of hysteria right before death. Right. Then he fought back and clawed out his own throat because of how hysterical he had become. The guys attacking him certainly wouldn't have been surprised by that. Would have been, actually. It's possible that in such an abnormal environment, a person could perform acts that a sane individual couldn't possibly imagine. Of course, those are very rare cases. Actually, Oishi-kun, that wood plank the deceased used as a weapon, they only found sand and the paint from the guardrail on it. About cloth fibres or skin? Nothing. The deceased didn't strike the assailants, or it could be they took the plank he was fighting back with. In that case, they wouldn't have gone out of their way to replace it with another. They'd take them all. Oh, that's true. Tomataki's pretty built and tanned. He was quite athletic. That's right. He was pretty active. I can't imagine what kind of sports he did when he was alive, but I think his physical strength would be on his higher side. Meaning, he would be difficult to overpower in a brawl. That's what I was thinking before, actually, but there was a group of people, so... If a man with such a physique sensed he was in danger and swung the plank around quickly, it's just unthinkable that it wouldn't even nick the perpetrator. And his opponent was unarmed. This guy had a wooden plank, so you'd think he'd hit him at least once. Yeah. Weird stuff going on. To surround and take down someone of his physique, I wonder how many people it would take. You dimwit. You should know better than anyone. Have you forgotten your bad cop days? If I was to take down this guy, how many would I need? When a group wants to take down big prey, it's fundamental to attack with numbers. I'd guess about 4. Even if there was a gap in their strength, they'd manage. Then there were quite a few perpetrators, so any drunken disorderly groups of more than 4 are suspicious? A group of 4 or more. Sure, we know people like that. Just, if there are that many, then couldn't they have hidden the body in a less obvious location? Or did he somehow break away from that fatal predicament? Then there would be no reason to commit suicide. Moreover, I still can't comprehend the irregular way he died. It's full of mysteries. Why would he claw his throat out when he can just swing a log and beat off anyone attacking? And why would he do it anyway, even if he was being attacked and didn't have a log? That's under serious consideration on my end too. I'll be examining it as thoroughly as possible, but don't get your hopes up. After all, we've never encountered a death like this before. I'm not hoping for much, but I am looking forward to the results. Oh, Suzanne, the chief is calling you. Thanks. See you around. Yeah. Best wishes. So there was a bit of detail, wasn't there, about Tomataki's death and just them trying to figure stuff out. Search notice. Okay, let's check this one out then. Jiro Tomataki, deceased. I was going to say diseased. Resided in a cheap hotel in Shishibone City. Registered under the name Jiro Tomataki. Pen name. Travels via folding bike. Wait, their pen name. So is that not his real name? So he goes by folding bike. No license. Why would he have a license? Or do they mean no car license? The bicycle was found 300 meters away, abandoned at the side of a forest path. Present on the day of the festival, accompanied by the missing Mayo Takano. There we go, that's her name then, Mayo Takano. We did hear it before when it was talking about some nurse who was working down in the clinic, Irie's clinic. Around 9 PM by police, location afterwards unknown. Held residence in Hinamizawa for 1 week each season for the last 5 to 6 years. Freelance photographer specializing in wild birds. Check with magazine companies. Nothing suspicious in the film located among the articles of the deceased. Wallet was among the articles of the deceased, so they didn't nick it. Mere act of violence. From the contents of the wallet, he spent most of his time around Tokyo and Chiba, along the Sobu National Railway line. No individual matching the name Jiro Tomataki in the residency records of any of the Tokyo wards. Compare teeth to dental records. Send to Metro Police. Attach a photo. Send to Metro Police. Contact magazines regarding Jiro Tomataki. Mayo Takano, missing. Nurse at Irie Clinic. Became close to Tomataki through a passion for wild bird photography. Resides in Okinamaya District. Single. Witnessed accompanying Tomataki on the festival grounds, currently missing. Abducted, or maybe a suspect. An important person of interest. Had no motive to kill the deceased. Squabble from jealousy? Need to thoroughly investigate their relationship, place of work, etc. I think they're going quite far out to suspect her of being the killer, because they don't even know if she's alive or not. They don't know where she is. They don't know anything, you know. Need to get information from the police on scene again. I want some cream puffs. 4 jumbo ones. Oh, is she? Of course he does. Okay, so that seems like everything. This has been Greeny XI. Hope you've enjoyed this chapter. It seems to have been getting more in depth, which is what's coming now, because his death and her disappearance is only the start of what's coming. That's the sort of thing that happens in every arc, and every arc is about what happens afterwards with the main characters, kind of. So all we've seen so far is sort of stuff that's going to be in every arc, pretty much. And that's why I'm wondering, are they going to repeatedly show this in every arc that's going to be in the game series? Or are they going to skip all the niceties in the other arcs and just get straight to the grit? In the anime and manga, they still have the niceties in there, but they sort of go through it a bit quicker. They add a character or two that we haven't seen before. You know, they mix it up a bit. I'm wondering if they'll do that in this as well. So anyway, this has been Greeny XI. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you again next time when we go for chapter 8. Yeah, that was quick. We'll go for chapter 8 and see how Keiichi can do as a detective. See you in a bit, folks.